The dark truth is that this is a systemic problem where major record labels, and this is what Fantano and Beato are talking about, they're ignoring fair use. Really important piece here is the behind the scenes information on how YouTube is actually doing its deals when these problems come up. The major record labels don't want you to know that is what they are in fact doing. Let me just show you because I need you guys thinking like lawyers. So Fantano and Beato have both been talking about what is essentially the copyright abuse problem on YouTube. And I was watching Fantano's last video entitled Huge Problem with YouTube, and he kind of spilled this huge thing. And I don't know if he knows how much information he probably was not allowed to say and shared on this. So I'm going to talk about that. But essentially, he went through the video and he goes, look, based on the current dynamic of creators, if you make videos and put them on YouTube, you're a creator. And creators who are doing, let's say, reaction videos or educational videos or newsy type videos, right? Fantano and Beato kind of fall within these categories and just being like, you are perpetually getting ripped off by record labels because record labels are coming and monetizing your videos. And they're saying, well, if you react to our song, if you react to our video, if you talk about our stuff, whatever, we're going to come and claim your video so we get the monetization. Now, the really important piece here and what he talked about is the behind the scenes information on how YouTube is actually doing its deals when these problems come up. He said this at the very end of his video. So I'm going to talk about this here in a sec, but Fantano in his video goes through and he's like, look, let's start with Beato and basically him talking about his situation the last couple of years. Beato has said so many times, I keep getting these strikes, I keep getting demonetized by these major record labels, and I'm just trying to teach the kids. I'm just trying to educate. I'm playing a very small part of these songs or these videos. And so we'll talk about fair use, right? Does it transform into something else? I think it does. Okay. So that's what he has said. But he goes, look, for many years, when the record labels came and claimed my videos, I didn't fight them. So they were collecting all of the monetization on the videos, not just so you guys know. If you are a content creator, your reaction channel, you're allowed to keep the monetization even if you're reacting to someone else's song or their video, if you qualify for fair use, which is typically what this is. And let me just show you, because you know what? I need you guys thinking like lawyers for when this kind of situation comes up for you. This is 17 USC section 107 of the actual Copyright Act. And it says, look, if you have a copyrighted work, it will qualify for fair use if you are doing criticism, commentary, news reporting, right? So these are things that qualify. And they have 4 factors. Now, through the analysis of do you qualify, what I can say is generally, yes, these channels are going to qualify for fair use. The problem is that major record labels, and this is what Fantano and Beato are talking about, they're ignoring the fair use application. And they're like, no, we still need to monetize your video and we're going to collect it. The copyright abuse that is happening is not really what Fantano says. It's not really because of YouTube. The problem is the content ID system and the major record labels being like, we're just going to claim the video. If you try fighting it, we're going to strike your video. So it's very, very aggressive. And I've had these conversations. Guys, you know, I've been lawyering for over 11 years now. I talk to the major record labels all the time, and this stuff comes up. And when it comes up, the record labels will be like, look, if you're reacting or covering a massive artist that otherwise doesn't need your help. Because, right, isn't the argument, if I'm Beato and I'm talking about some famous song, me talking about it is only going to get new eyes on it. It's going to help to market it and get more people to go and stream your song and make you more money. So reasonably, Beato's argument might be, I'm kind of helping you here, all right? Now, conversely, the record labels come back and they're like, well, if it's a huge artist, we didn't need you in the first place. And they argue that by you covering the popular song, you are taking away, you're supplementing. Okay, so that's their argument, whether it is fair or true or not. I'm curious what you think. Drop a comment down below. But anyway, so he goes through and he's like, look, Rick has talked about this countless times. And so whereas Rick used to not do anything, because he's like, I'm not going to fight here, he's got a guy now. And he has a guy who's full-time, who fights these all the time. And I was very happy to hear that. And then Fantano kind of went in the video and he goes, kind of samesies to my situation as well. And in fact, Fantano has said in other interviews where he's like, for my channels, I stopped putting the actual copyrighted stuff when I did these album reviews and I incorporated videos and all this stuff. He goes, generally speaking, I either took it out or I literally went and deleted like hundreds of videos because you know what? It became such a problem. I'm like, I'm not even going to have this fight anymore. But he goes like, just recently, he had this video, Dochi Hate. He had the phrase, my anxiety, that he kind of sang real quick or whatever. And he goes, my video literally got claimed and demonetized and all of that because of those 2 words that I said in the context of talking about the song and the artist and all this stuff. And to his credit, this made me smile. To his credit, he put that clip again in the new video. And I'm curious whether he got demonetized or copyright claimed. But in any case, he's going like, this is the dark truth. The dark truth is that this is a systemic problem where major record labels are ignoring fair use, and they're coming back and they're just being like, well, you know what? Your reaction video, we don't think it was good enough. We don't like the quality of your reaction. We don't think your commentary is good enough. And that's not part of this analysis, right? So with the 4 factors, it's like, how are you using it? How much are you using? And are you actually giving commentary? Are you criticizing? Are you giving a reaction? It's not saying, are you giving a quality reaction? It says, are you commenting? Okay, so that's a really important piece here. So it's kind of like this, what he's saying in his video is like, you got to pay the piper. You're going to be financially disincentivized to be a reaction channel, to cover new stuff, because you're going to have this fight and you're probably going to lose and your videos are going to get suppressed. And so the labels come in, they're like, sure, if you want to do a deal with us, and this is where he spilled the beans.
The current dynamic where you have reactors and commentators routinely getting ripped off, and then when some of them actually want to start making some money off of their content, they're doing it by way of taking a check from the label to promote and speak positively about some kind of up-and-coming artist they're trying to break, and make it seem like there's an organic buzz around them because, oh, look, this reactor is talking about them after we paid them to do so. Lame.
So he goes, this is 2-pronged. We see that there's this dynamic of major record labels ripping off content creators on YouTube. And if you want to start making money, you have to, so meaning you're going to get a check from the record labels, you have to do a deal with them. And you need to speak positively about their upcoming artists. So say what you will about that, but the idea just being that it's going to appear like there's all this organic hype around these up-and-coming artists, and they're really just backdoor deals that are being done because these creators, if they want to get a check, that's what they need to do. So that's what Fantano very casually just said, and the major record labels don't want you to know that is what they are in fact doing. Now, what Fantano concluded with is that he's looking for a more balanced system. He wants to protect creators' rights, and that's where I land on this. I'm going to go to bat all day long. That is why I end up on actual calls and Zoom calls with the major record labels, because when I represent you guys and we are fighting back, because we fight back, they're not going to win on this stuff. I've covered this a few times on kind of the language that you guys should have to fight these YouTube claims. That's on the Knox Hill video that I did on how Universal is taking over the industry. Check that out if you need help. And then, you know what? If you need a lawyer, contact Elgato Entertainment Law and I'll help you. I'm Tommy Music Attorney. I'll see you on the next one.